going to show you the entire process of taking beef suet and turning it into a tallow body balm. When you get your beef suet, you're going to first cut it up into small pieces. It's better if you have a meat grinder, but if you don't, that's okay. Then you're going to add water, salt, and cook it down. Once the fat has gotten soft, you're going to take an immersion blender and blend it up. This helps to break down the fat even more so you can get more tallow out of it. Once it's fully blended, you're going to cook it down a little bit more. Then you're going to separate it with a strainer. This helps to expedite the first render, even though it'll still be pretty bad. Once it's fully separated, put it in the fridge to cool. As you can see, the first render ended up being pretty gross, but that's okay. We're going to scrape off all the impurities, top and bottom. This is super important to make sure we get all the impurities out completely. Then we cook it, let it cool, and then let it set up again. As you can see, the second rendering is so much cleaner than the first one. We're still going to scrape off the impurities, check the core, and cook it down again. And here's our third rendering. This one's even cleaner. The water's a little murky, so it's not quite done yet. So we're going to scrape again, cook it down, and do one final wet render. As you can see, this rendering ended up really clean, and the water looks very clear. So now we're ready for our dry render. These bubbles in the rendering is just moisture leaving the tallow. Once they're completely gone, we're going to let it cool one last time. As you can see, this final rendering is very clean and very, very hard. It is ready to be made into a body balm. We're going to combine our rendered tallow with avocado oil in a double boiler. We're going to let it melt down completely. Then we're going to add our essential oils and stir to combine. Finally, we're going to pour it into a bowl and let it cool. Once it fully sets up, we're going to whip it. Once it's got a nice fluffy consistency, we're going to put it into a piping bag and then pipe it into our jars. That's the final step. So now we just need to seal it up and use it. And that's the entire process of making tallow body balm.